I think active life has absolutely been the right journey and decision for me. I think it really fulfilled the goals that I had, which was becoming more confident, more comfortable, and more capable. I always say it's sometimes people don't know how much better they can feel. And now that I know how much better I can feel, I think I have that extra motivation to keep going, because I might have doubted in the beginning that this could feel as better as it does. So even if I'm tired or I'm lazy and I don't want to get it done, I never want to go back to that. My name is Nicole Bergman. I'm 36 years old and I've been with Active Life for 8 months. So I have 2 boys. They are 6 and 8, so first and second grade. They are really active. We're just getting into sports now. So, everything from hockey, baseball, lacrosse, still throwing a football with them on the beach, which, I was nervous about with that shoulder motion, and that's it. I just want to be able to throw a ball with the boys. I do think that one of the goals in joining Active Life was to be able to show the boys that mommy is strong too, and that sometimes you have to work through things that are uncomfortable. But it's funny when sometimes things in your body just don't work the way they're supposed to. And luckily, my injuries have been like on my knees and my shoulders, and you have 2 of each one. So I think it became more noticeable because I could gauge it against the other shoulder or the other knee. And yeah, it's really frustrating when all of a sudden it's not doing what it's supposed to do, and it feels so different from the other one, something's wrong. Maybe a year prior to Active Life, I had started developing a lot of pain when I lifted my arm and not really having full mobility. After I had my kids, I was doing a lot of walking. We live in Long Beach, so it's very walkable. You want to put your kid in the stroller and take a nice long walk. They nap. So I was doing a lot of walking, and I developed a Baker's cyst on the back of my knee. Lived like that for maybe 4 or 5 years when I finally found a doctor who was able to confirm that he thought he saw a tear, and so they recommended surgery, and I had that done. So I wouldn't say it ever stopped my ability, but it definitely put kind of a red flag in your mind of there's something wrong, you have to take care of it, and you're only getting older. So it's not like your body's not necessarily going to start producing new things, and you're not necessarily going to fix yourself unless you take some actions, and really just taking responsibility of my life and my body became sort of a focus, and I think why I looked out and reached out to Active Life. I was nervous about getting into the gym because I didn't want to wind up with an injury. I've never been somebody who's comfortable with going to a gym. I'm not a student athlete, so in terms of having a good understanding of what equipment is or what weight is appropriate for me were things that were nerve-wracking and just I was unsure about. So when I began at Active Life, first I was assessed pretty thoroughly in both physical examination as well as sort of talking to me about what my injuries were. There was definitely limited mobility in sort of the range of my shoulder. And with the knee, it's more just being able to trust it. So I've done a lot of compensating. So I would say those were 2 goals really, is stabilizing this knee and then getting a better range of motion with this shoulder, as well as getting rid of the pain. So my Active Life professional is Justin. He really listened to some of my goals. He's been very kind in me being hesitant and at the same time, pushing me, knowing where I can do more.
So Nicole first started with not being too familiar with the gym setting, knowing how to navigate it, being more afraid of getting back into fitness because of her recent knee surgery, shoulder injuries. A lot of things were coming up for her. And now she is in such a phenomenal position. She's changed entirely. She's not even the same person she was before. We spoke about that in our last monthly check-in of you're not the same person you are, and she's happy about that. It's not like we were trying to change her, trying to be anything different. It was just, you're gonna see more opportunity to be a better person from us doing the things in here, because what we're doing in here is gonna make you better to do all the things you want to outside. So she wanted to be a positive role model for her kids. She's doing that. She's able to play with them, hang out with them, do it for longer periods of time and not have to worry about, oh, is my knee going to hurt? Is my shoulder going to hurt? And now she just has so much capacity to do more of the things she wants to. And it means everything to her, just giving her another piece of her life back.
I have had like a personal trainer before, but I would say there's never been that level of focus or sort of like opportunity, a very open dialogue about what my hesitations were. Again, like I can feel sort of intimidated by a fitness place or the pressure to perform based on what I think is sometimes like a blanket regimen. So knowing that there was somebody there really listening and that I was gonna get some actual personal training in a sense was really a relief. When I began with Active Life, there was definitely certain sessions which were educational, whether it was a block of time before we started the movements. There are definitely metrics, I guess, for what we're feeling, your RPE, how hard are you working, where you should be at when you're doing that. That way you can gauge whether you can do more or, stay the same or slow down.
She didn't see herself being in this position either. She really thought she wasn't ever going to be in a position where she felt comfortable enough to just get to the bar and to the weights and be like, I know exactly what I need to do. Seeing the evolution myself too with her has been even a great fulfilling feeling, because seeing her progress even further, her getting all the results outside of here, because of course all the things that we do in here is great, but for her to come back to me and tell me like, I did X, Y, and Z because of what we did today is the best feeling in the world. About
6 months later, I would say that when it comes to my knee, I'm impressed by how much more stable it is. There are certain movements now where I can trust that it can bear the weight. And when it comes to my shoulder, I would say I am, with setbacks and hiccups every now and again, pain-free in that shoulder. The fact that I have certain mobility, just like simple movements, like being able to maneuver this arm like behind my back is possible, and that's wild. I'm like extremely happy and impressed by how much mobility this shoulder has gained. I just want to have the stamina. I want to be able to keep up. I want to be able to, go on hikes, be active at the beach. We live in like such a great place for walking and getting out there. The kids require so much energy, and I want to have that. I want to be able to kind of sustain that level of energy and activeness like as they get older and cuddling when I have grandchildren. So I think that was kind of my goal, is just to keep, not necessarily, I'm not, Justin always asks me, you want to run a marathon, or is there sort of a concrete end goal? And I would say no, it's really just like living like this, like being active, not having to worry about, will I be able to? Like I know that I'm capable, and I think that's kind of the gift that I've gotten.